included some conclusionary at Graven Hollow, some teleportation interruption, and you quickly found yourselves speaking again to Jarlaxle before you once again got on the road traveling to Gauntlgrim. You find yourselves in Gauntlgrim at the start of this game. The dwarves greeted you and welcomed you as delegates. You were welcomed in with no issues, and in that enjoyable state, you were taken to this room here where you are going to be resuming the game. In your short meeting with the leader of Bragan Dierth, Jarlaxle, he essentially asked politely that you acquire, in exchange for your information, the ability for his organization, Bragan Dierth, to operate a merchant out of Gauntlgrim in exchange for whatever it is he needs. There was some information you gained, but nothing of tremendous import yet, mostly that you were learning there was going to be information. And so you found that you were going to be traveling here under numerous purposes. The first one related to Jarlaxle and his desires. The second one relating to your own desires and the groups gathering in Gauntlgrim. So that was where we were at the end of the last game, as you came into Gauntlgrim and were escorted here. You were essentially given the dignitaries treatment. You were given a room, and from there you were told that you would be called for by King Bruenor Battlehammer in the near future. Until that comes to be, you were allowed to wander if you desired, and that remains the case still. So if you would like to, you are able to do that. But we're going to be picking up the game with you guys right here, just having got into Gauntlgrim. You are here for multiple purposes, not the least of which is dealing with the actual demon lords and things of that nature, but also because you are operating on behalf of the Bragan Dierth Drow organization. So that's where we're going to be picking it up. Does anybody have any questions before we dive right in? Okay. The silence means no. So, with that being said, when you guys are ready, you guys are welcome to look around, or you are welcome to not and just wait to be called. So it is completely up to you how you handle this. And I am going to tinker a little bit with the music, and we're going to get that going. So,
well, I had a mouthful of potato chips when you asked me if I had any questions, so I'm like, ugh.
I am ready for questions.
I don't really actually have any, to be perfectly honest. Spirit was probably just going to hang out in the room, take a cat nap, if you will. So, after everything that they've been through, she was like, yeah, I think a good rest would be nice, and just kind of just flop her head on the pillow, just.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the rest of you, does anybody have anything that you want to do?
Well, I think we should maybe talk about how we're going to broker this deal.
That would be very wise. Hey, weren't you a Dragonborn just earlier?
I am. I still am. Nick still is.
You're just doing your Nick's voice instead of your
It's
Dragonborn.
easier on Malachi's throat.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, I'm just teasing anyways.
I also forgot what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's actually kind of like a card like this, I say. Yes, this is a bit more proper for negotiations.
There you go. Well, that's better.
But I think I'm still gonna talk like this for now. Ah. Also, I realized when I was looking through my notes, I don't actually know how to spell Bregandy Earth.
Can help
I
with that.
I have a butchered attempt that I'm sure is not correct.
There you go.
Yeah, that's not what I had at all.
It's breaking the earth, man. Well, I know that I'm not one for political negotiations, but
Yes.
I'm not sure how much help it can be, but
I suppose I don't really know what we can or I suppose should offer. I wish I wish Smoke wasn't
not here.
vacantly staring
Yeah.
at the wall.
I just assume he's going to be taking a cat nap too.
Yeah, he's just passed
Seems
out on
a
the
little quick cat nap.
Yeah. I would suggest maybe hearing what Lord Battlehammer has to say, what he would request of us first.
That is also fair.
Because this is basically going to be an equivalent exchange. I mean, he scratches our back, we scratch his. So, and we're, obviously we're working on behalf of Jarl Axel to get a representative of his, basically setting up a merchant stall on behalf of Bregan the Earth for, to operate out of here. So obviously he's going to want something to, for us to do to be able to allow Bregan to operate that.
Yes.
So, and that's not getting into what we want out of him.
Well, hopefully he oh, what's the word? Oh, hang on.
If I can't hear you if you're talking.
Tyler
not
is not
in.
even in the chat.
There you go.
Hit her with the laughing emoji too.
There you go.
Let her
That
know
always
what's
helps.
up. Yeah. Well, there goes my train of thought. Hang on. I suppose I don't really know what sort of things we could realistically offer them. I am not too familiar with Bregandy Earth, unfortunately. Aside from... Ah, welcome back. That's
Hello?
ominous.
I was just about to say, if you're now speaking, we can't hear you, but we can now. At least we did when you spoke out. And Mr. Ben just jinxed it. Good going.
She's gone.
Yeah, I saw that disconnect. And she's back.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh
Found
my
her.
god.
Hello.
Hello.
So sorry. Discord and no like me. Continue, I'm so sorry.
No worries. You were saying?
Yes. Well, I'm not sure what specific services we could offer them. Realistically, it's a tough thing. Unless any of you know.
The unfortunate
What-
thing is that I'm kind of in the same boat as you are. I don't really know off the top of my head anything that we could realistically offer either.
Is it information strictly, or is it physical goods, and what kind, or expertise? I'm grasping at straws.
The only information I could think of off the top of my head would probably be to tell Lord Battlehammer everything we know about what we've learned on the Demon Lord issue. But by that point, we've gotten how many people we've told at this point? We've told Jarl Axel, we would have told Bruenor, our drow friend, and I put friend in heavy quotation marks here, the Archmage. We told Drazit inadvertently. So
is it not a good thing to spread this information though? It helps all of the material plane. Theoretically.
No, I do understand where you're coming from on that, but at the same time, I can't help but wonder if perhaps if we spread this information too, liberally, someone might try to use that to work against us. But that's just my thought process on that. On the other hand, though, if we tell him and we kind of give out the information that we're looking for, or yeah, if we give out the information we've got, he might be able to better assist us in terms of trying to figure out a way to stop this demon threat. Because let's face it, he's Dwarven King here. He's probably going to be far more equipped to deal with a large scale threat than we are.
This is very true. Or at least he'd be a very good help.
Yeah.
To us.
So I really can't think of a reason not to tell him our information.
Indeed. I say we tell him.
As far as
Makes
offering
sense.
anything else to him in terms of like anything physical, I suppose that would have to wait and remain to be seen if there's anything in particular that he would want us to do. Kind of like how the Beholder wanted us to find the maze engine. Beyond that,
So
I don't
is
really
that your
have any.
guys's? With that information, is there anything you guys want to do, or do you guys want to keep thinking it over?
Oh, I'm gonna keep working on my thing.
At this point, the only thing I could realistically suggest would probably be just to wait and to speak with Bruenor, because I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
That's fair. Yeah, At least until Smoke wakes up.
Well, let's work on the assumption that Smoke's exhausted and needs to sleep the day.
Yes.
Yeah, probably better for that.
Well, okay. And then Nyx turns to Risolana and says, so I also am sorry. I don't think we've been formally introduced.
The halfling, who's been unusually quiet, very contemplative, mostly just sitting and listening and watching after her ordeal, holds out her hand and introduces herself as Rislana.
Oh, I'm Nyx.
She says that the party rescued me from my captors after untold amounts of time imprisoned as revenge for my master.
Well, I'm glad you got better.
Thank you. I'm still taking in my surroundings and doing my best to stay out of the way.
Well, you're doing an admirable job. If that isn't rude to say.
She gives a small smile and busies herself with her own small and meager equipment.
That reminds me, what information did we learn about Risolana again? Like who her master was and all that?
She told you that she was the apprentice of a wizard named Igvil, and in some form or fashion, she offended a powerful demon who then imprisoned Rislana as revenge.
Right.
But then she stayed quiet and you promptly forgot about her and asked no further questions.
Yeah, it's kind of well, we rescued you and okay.
I mean, to be fair, we were also kind of like in enemy territory with
Yeah.
anything
A
liable to
lot
jump
has
out
been
of.
happening.
So yeah. So now that we're in relative safety. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, it's okay. I was just gonna say nothing of import. Go ahead.
I said, but yeah, now that we're in relative safety and we can kind of sit back and relax, I suppose we can kind of, open the floor to more discussion. Because I remember that she said she was an apprentice mage, and she did help us out in terms of being able to cast some spells every now and again. But
yes,
she was very much, like you said, just an apprentice and not superbly helpful. But any assistance was better than none. So
her specialty is in illusory magic, but again, she was just an apprentice, so she shied away from more combat related things unless they were really required. She was able to, screen herself from most of the threats in the Underdark that you guys encountered. Now, if you guys would like to explore, you're welcome to. If you guys would like to wait, it's not going to be more than a few hours before you're called to an audience, but you will be able to explore as you see fit.
I
That
could
might
take a
not be
walk
bad.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll follow around.
Why not?
I didn't really do this the last time in Graven Hollow. I just sort of just did the same thing. I just kind of just found a bed, took a cat nap. So, but I think I might as well go ahead and stretch my legs too. Because why not?
Where are we going? North or south?
Hang on. South.
South it is. Door. just
Kick the
just
door
walking up.
Oh no! Oh no!
There's nobody in here.
That door is empty. I'm sorry, that room is empty. The door was unlocked. You could head on in at your leisure. So you do travel. You do notice there is a channel of lava flowing
Oh.
along the walls. That's what's providing that glow.
Ooh, fancy.
This area is well lit. It isn't anything that you have any trouble seeing. There's a set of double doors down there towards the end. As you are moving through,
I found a locked door.
you try the door and it does not open. So the hallways are quite large, especially for dwarves, 10, 15 feet wide. You can move through without any major concern.
And there's nobody else here, just us?
So in this small area, at least just right outside your rooms and that other empty room, you're not seeing other people. You hear hammering down the hallway you're standing in on the other side of the double doors, and that's also where kind of the lava is oozing towards. You can hear people talking. The area is not dead. It's just this hallway seems to not be currently occupied by much.
Fools. Well, shall we?
We shall. I'm in like a weird box. There we go.
Boop.
I like being square. You open the other side too? Cool.
So, taking a look in here, let me pop that open. So, taking a look in here, you come into an area that is bustling with activity. This area has a number of, hey, Drongo's connecting. This area is bustling with activity. You have many areas that have blacksmith operations going on. The three massive forges are tri setup where they can hammer away, sticking metal works and hit the bellows, as well as a massive gleaming silvery metal dwarven statue up here. The lava seems to be flowing downward towards these forges. This area seems to be a smaller version of a very tremendously large and well-made forge. Everything in here you notice is not just functional but fashionable. It is aesthetic. They have the floor has signs of having recently been repaired. You have the forge and damage to the anvils seems to have recently been repaired. There are dwarves actively forging and working in all of the areas, weapons being repaired. The city of Gontalgrim is a place that has fallen in various times into disarray and things of that nature, but it has been reclaimed by the dwarves and it is in a state of active repair, and you can see that especially here in the forge. As you make your way in, you notice that there are a couple dwarves that seem to be more supervisors. One of them makes his way over to you, holds out his sooty hand as he pulls a hammer up over his shoulder and introduces himself as Helgrim. How can I help you, dignitaries? This is the smaller of the great forges.
Darks Nix, representative of Bregan the Earth, at your service, sir. We're simply exploring your fine city. We heard the sound of hammering, and I had always heard tales of fine dwarven craftsmanship, and thought I should see it for myself, and I must say I'm quite impressed.
This is our forge that we allow any to pass through. We do have another greater forge, but it is still under repair. Not any that of any use at the moment. But if you have any weapons or armor in need of repair, we provide these services free of charge. If you need directions around the open public areas, I'm happy to provide them.
Hang on, just writing a note. Well, I'm fortunately, or perhaps unfortunately, sir, am not in need of your services, but perhaps my companions. And Nyx looks at the other three. I'm assuming Drong is here too.
Yes.
Let
I'll
me
move
fetch-
you once you get in. Let me know, and I will send you the map. And I'm going to put Drongo over here so she can just pop right in.
I am in right now. I'm
All right.
decided to move everything around because I had it on a bigger screen last time.
Of course. Why wouldn't
And
you?
now it's all like off the edge and hard to find.
Nothing quite fits what?
Oh, well, see, I am small, so I need to get things made to size. Yep.
I will let you get acclimated there. But I will let you guys take a look at that, get acclimated, and all of that happiness. The Great Forge, or the smaller of the Great Forge here, is the primary functional area in Gauntlgrim where everything is going along. The dwarves are happy to repair any armor, weapons, or tend to any of your needs. I would point out real quick as a side note before we move on, this map is beautiful, and it was given away free by a group known as the Tavern Heroes.
Cool.
So if anybody is looking for them, it was pretty well made. I want to make sure to give credit. They didn't have a watermark on it, but I did want to let them at least put their name out there in case somebody wants to find it.
They did a good job.
Yeah, no, it looks awesome.
Yeah, no,
It's incredible.
Helgrim asks you if you need any directions or any help finding your way around the city. Are you looking for anything specific?
Well, no, I suppose nothing in particular. We're simply trying to get a lay of the land, as it were. But do you happen to have any places that you are particularly fond of that you could recommend us as guests, must-sees before we leave?
Unfortunately, the majority of the city is still wild and unclaimed. You will not be able to travel safely through most of the city as we are still reclaiming. But if you would like to see the famed library or chapel of Gauntlgrim, you will go directly out these doors and continue down the hall and take the double lava-lined corridor on your right, and it will be on your left where you will find it. That is the only major thing of note that you probably will be able to gain access to at the moment.
Well, that sounds particularly splendid, actually.
Indeed. Yes, I am not in need of your services as I do not wear metal at all.
I don't even believe in metal.
Metal doesn't exist to me.
And from across the forest,
no.
Strong has been wandering around, looking at everything and like being like, yes. She calls out to Roland and go, but you believe in my at?
I don't believe in it. It's just there.
Well, but you know that it does the damage it needs to do.
It does.
So,
I still don't believe in it.
okay, lost cause.
It's unnatural.
Well, thank you for your for your help, Pilgrim. Um, I'm sure we shall meet again. And,
No, wait, but hold on.
And then
Because the fucking metal comes from the ground.
yes, but it's
It's not-
unnaturally molded.
No,
okay,
Whereas
we're just
everything-
moving along. Adger's like desperately trying to shuffle you out the door.
Yeah, just Roland and Dronga, I just can see just getting into not a heated argument, but just Roland's just trying to explain to her, like, but everything grows out of the ground. You can't grow metal.
Let's say, and meanwhile, Spirit's just ignoring everyone while she's just inspecting her equipment.
Helgrim kind of decides to stay out of it and gives you a nod and a cursory statement. If you need anything, let him know.
Mhm.
God,
I
my fucking mom just came downstairs, guys. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Why is someone yelling with a Scottish accent?
I might be a little loud.
I didn't hear
Shit, what-
anything that my equipment needed to be repaired, so I'm going to assume that it's in good working order here.
No, I muted her.
Only your soul needs to be repaired, Spirit.
Whoa,
They can help you with that.
Damn.
aggressive.
Ow. Passive
Oh, it's
aggressive,
because
no
you've been
less.
cursed so many times and you've gone through a lot, so your soul needs healed. But
Oh, you're not wrong.
I meant no offense.
That was pretty metal, though.
I believe this is the way down the double lava hallway. I've already forgotten because I have the memory of a goldfish, both in character and out.
Oh Jesus, we're doomed.
And then a left here. Nope. Yes, this seems like.
The two doors there are standing open,
Mhm.
and you immediately recognize the area as a religious center.
Did you say left when you turned right?
Yep.
No, left here. This is left. This is.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant left down this hallway.
No. Well, do we wish to stop in here or keep searching for the library?
No, I've had my fill of books, thanks.
All right, religion it is.
Fuck.
I'll take a look. I'm not very religious, but I do believe in the earth itself.
Learn about the people that we are dealing with, Dronga.
So when you make your way in here, you notice it is a very old and recently repaired and crafted chapel to Moradin, as well as a number of the other surface dwarven gods. There is a duo of statues, an altar, as well as a duo of flanking barrels of ale.
Now that's my kind of religion.
There are a number of priests and dwarves in here worshiping as they see fit. Some of them are quiet. They kind of take a look at you, but you can tell these dwarves are not unaccustomed to visitors or anyone making their way in.
Are the tankards full?
They are, and they are. And one of the priests, as you make your way over, you get a couple looks, Dronga, but nothing out of the ordinary. Just maybe a second glance here. Nothing necessarily hostile or unfriendly.
Okay.
A priest offers you a mug, but warns you before offering it that it is blessed by priests of Moradin. It's considered their holy water. So if you have any religious conflicts, it may not be something you wish to imbibe, but you are welcome, as all are.
No religious conflicts here. Don't really have a religion. I'm thinking maybe
conflict.
Morgan is it. Thank you. And she slams it back.
It
Like-
is quite
So-
potent. It is not. It's well made. You can tell that. So in their religion, the priests practice many things, not the least of which them is brewing. So this is something that they offer to everyone. One of the acolytes makes his way over and asks if he can help you with anything.
Well, Master Helgrim of the Forge had pointed us to this location as a must-see. We are recent arrivals, you see, and haven't been in the city very long.
The dwarf introduces himself as Argrom. I am an acolyte of Moradin, helping to bring the true faith back to the halls of Gauntlgrim and force out those that have defiled our holy places. I welcome you, all of you, as dignitaries with King Bruenor. If you have time later, you may stop by, and I would be happy to explain to you any of our religious beliefs as well as our history here.
Oh, would you? I would actually be most interested in that. Yes, that you can count on seeing me again. Assuming, good sir? That's Malachi asking, not...
It is a male.
Okay, yes, good.
There are, and you do notice as you move through here, dwarves are very egalitarian. There are female blacksmiths and male blacksmiths, and female priests and female and male of pretty much every role in their society.
Cool.
Shortly after you guys are speaking to the various people, you have a dwarf who is a little more cleaned up and fastidious clear his throat and say, "Excuse me. Your presence is requested in the meeting hall with King Bruenor Battlehammer at your earliest convenience."
Of course.
I was wondering if someone was going to come and fetch us.
Anyone know how they know where we were?
I think we're quite obvious, Drunga.
Yes, I'm sure that people are keeping him well informed.
Sneaky.
Or they're scrying on us, either or.
So, as you,
Just panic.
if you are kind enough to follow him, he escorts you back the way you came,
Mm-hmm.
almost all the way back to your room. To save you moving your tokens, I am going to move them for you.
Hooray.
Teleportation.
Hooray!
Aw, we don't know
that-
that spell yet.
That room to the south there, Roland, was the library.
Oh,
In case
okay.
you're looking for it later.
Okay, cool.
Oh, so we found them both at the same time.
Oh, damn.
Yay!
Go team.
All right.
Aw.
So, this is a room. I'm not going to put any tokens on, mostly because I want to keep things streamlined, because we're not going to have a massive amount of time to play tonight. I'll keep it, and we're missing Alex, so I'll keep the token off here. But the throne of Moradin, of Gauntlgrim, is occupied by King Bruenor Battlehammer, which I'm going to be sending you right now.
Don't forget a halfling, Ben. I'm assuming Ruslan is quiet.
She is not. She's not
Oh.
tagging along unless you guys specifically ask her to.
Ominous. I like his second picture better, where he looks a little bit happier than he is on the throne. He looks kind of pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you. How do you look at work?
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So, so when you make your way in, you can still hear the hammers, but you are taken to this large hall. I've scaled it down just for pragmatism, to kind of match things. But the city you're in, maybe what's 5 or less % of the city. As I said, they are still reclaiming quite a bit of it. This city has been lost for centuries.
More of an outpost at this point, then.
Yes, they are fighting their way inward. So, but you are taken to this recently repaired, refurbished, mighty stone hall where you see the red-haired dwarf. He seems to be of fierce and proud demeanor. He sits on this massive stone throne, flanked by guards as well as advisors. And although a long stone table is sitting directly in front of, it is laid out with refreshments, and there do not appear to be any other guests. And the Dwarf King stands and says, "Welcome, friends, to Gauntlgrim. I have a mind to know the rumblings that Jarlaxle has gathered. I have little doubt they are many, and the rumors of the goings-on in the depths outside my city. If you would sit with me and partake of the refreshments, I would hear you talk and tell your tale, so we may decide what to do next."
Splendid, your Highness, Majesty. That is precisely why we are here. And Nyx takes a open seat.
I'm gonna be his right hand.
Just for posterity, I think I'll just throw a token on here, just to get it on here.
Just for shits and giggles.
There you go. He makes his way down from the throne and takes his seat here. Throne is up here. It's the kind of the throne room, the large seat of power.
Oh, that is a big chair.
It is.
Oh, never mind.
When I walked by here, I kind of thought that those were grave, like tombs.
That's what
They
I
are
thought
not.
too.
It's actually laid out in the form of a hammer. It has an actual cover over it. It's actually a magical throne, the throne of Moradin.
Very cool.
Gives pretty.
Does it float?
It doesn't. It gives a lot of bonuses though.
Oh.
You're just sitting in it?
Just for sitting in it. Also,
while you're sitting in it.
While you're sitting in it.
Oh, that's lame.
I have plus 200 AC while I am sitting down.
Yeah.
So he sits, and there is a plethora of ale. You guys can drink pretty much any food you ask for, whether it's vegetarian or as you see fit. It is provided to you, and you are able to essentially tell your tale, and he listens as you choose to tell it if you wish, and whatever level detail you decide.
Yeah. Unless someone tries to stop Nyx, they will pretty much relay everything that we know.
Yep.
Can she do it as though she's like a fangirl for the first little bit?
A fangirl for
about this.
For our group.
For the group.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Nyx talks up the party a
Acts
lot,
like a
but
fangirl as a male
yes,
dragonborn.
yes,
Oh.
yes. You see, these are splendid, in fact, very powerful and wonderful individuals.
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
you tell your tale as
yes.
fangirl. It is quite a long tale. You
Mhm.
guys eat and feast and drink as you see fit, and after you tell your full tale, the attendants coming and going as needed, providing you more and less food, and they listen, or the king listens, asking the occasional question, mostly concerning the demon lord and heavily focused on the influence they have on the nature of the environment around them, how they influence it, how it is impacted, how it's changed, and things of that nature. As you relay this and he asks questions, he asks, what is it that Jarlaxle informed you of? He has very little doubt that Jarlaxle knows more than he should and shares less than he knows.
Yes, that has been my experience with them as well. You see, he sent us here to broker a trade alliance between Bregan the Earth and the great city of Gauntlgrim. That's. I'm not mixing my G cities up, am I? It is Gauntlgrim that.
It is.
Okay, good.
Hooray!
Hooray!
What are the details of the trade alliance he is seeking?
He wishes to operate a merchant out of here, out of this city. Well, as you say, he shares little details of his plans, unfortunately. I must admit. I'm just going through my notes to try and see if I have anything else that he said, and if anyone can please step in to help me out. Or he did just, from memory, he did just say, like, talk to the
Yes.
king, get a merchant installed. That's it.
Pretty much.
Okay, yeah, that's, yeah, no, Nyx will just be brutally honest and just say that.
He kind of listens before nodding his head and saying, I will consider this. Did he tell you why I was holding this conference, or that I was holding a conference or summit?
Well, we had actually come here at your own behest. Strange as that may sound. You see, when we were in the great library of
Graven Hollow.
Graven Hollow, thank you. An apparition of yourself from the future. Oh, what's the word that was used in Nyx looks at Dronga.
Tyler's drawing a blank right
An
now.
echo, yes.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, that's it.
Bade us attend this great conference so that we may apparently help with this demonic incursion that seems to be troubling us so.
Interesting. Well, I have summoned the great organizations of the surface to Gauntlgrim for a summit on the impact of the demon lords and what to do about it. We will have to do something. Among them, I have summoned the Harpers, the Order of the Gauntlet, the Emerald Enclave, the Lord's Alliance, and the Zentarum. And apparently, Bregan the Earth was also or at least yourselves, was invited by me as well, of a different variety. I have invited them here to learn what is happening, to share what we all know and gather our knowledge together, and to gather their backing for what it is I have proposed. Having heard your tale, and known you have braved the Underdark and lived to tell the tale, and come perilously close to demon lords or their representatives, I cannot say that I am surprised that you are better than anyone aware of what we face. You spoke of an archmage, a drow, treacherous though they are, who is developing a plan. You've already had contact with them. You've gathered the information.
That is correct, yes.
I propose, after some thought, that we send you as our representative to this archmage, but not as a lone party, but as a representative of the surface. Because who am I to argue with me and a far wiser and older dwarf? We send you back to this mage to discover his plan, use it as we see fit, in hopes of sending these demon lords back to the abyss. What are you to think of that?
Well, that creates a lot less problems for us if we could accomplish that.
Agreed.
It's true, we are together in this struggle against, well, for our very own reality.
I do not propose to send you into the dangerous Underdark unprepared, though I don't doubt you are prepared to handle it. I would argue that a plan summit I had to gather information would be better served slightly tweaked with your arrival. Why, possibly a feast hosting all the dignitaries. And though I cannot show favoritism to negotiate, as outsiders, unaffiliated, though representing a Bragandier, a fact I would likely not mention, I believe you would be able to make an impression on them and gain their support and possibly convince them to commit resources to this mission. And you may find yourselves able to travel back into the Underdark with the backing of numerous organizations. If you are able to do that and get at least 3 of these organizations on our side to increase your chances, which serves the benefit of all, I will grant a temporary merchant position to Jarlaxle, as long as he honors the law and taxes as are required. It would probably not be the first spy he has in my halls.
It is as you say. I mean, well, that is a fine plan, I say. I believe that we can do this. And Nyx looks at the rest for...
Yeah, I agree. I believe we can help you in this.
Yeah, no, we could do it.
Why don't I put together a feast 2 days from now, and At such time, we will allow you to meet with these groups and the leaders of them and attempt to convince them of our cause. You do not want to state that you are representatives of Brigandierth, I would not say, but you may say that you are what you are, an experienced group of adventurers who have the backing of myself and Gauntlgrim that should give you the footing you need to negotiate.
Yes, that sounds reasonable and makes sense to me. Yes, we should be able to do this.
Hmm.
So 2 days hence, you will be able to meet with them if you decide to conduct any private negotiations between now and then, possibly adding some lubricant to the wheels. That is going to be of your choosing. I will take the rest of the time to think on what you have proposed and shared with me, and I will call for you if you are needed. Otherwise, you may have the run of the halls. I would caution you to keep your weapons close. It is not uncommon for the wilds to break into the areas we have reclaimed.
I thank you for your wise counsel, my king.
And with that, he stands up and exits the room, leaving some retainers in attendance to take care of you and let you guys eat and drink your fill.
Let me just make sure I have a list of the factions. Harper's, Emerald Enclave. I've lost
The Order of the Gauntlet.
Order of the Gauntlet. Mm-hmm.
You know, when
Assume that I don't remember any of the other ones.
The Lord's Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
And the Zentarum. I'll spell that for you.
Thank you.
So we've already had experience with the Zentarum, I believe.
You have. It's spelled Zhentarrim.
All right.
That was the beholder, right?
The other beholder,
he did work with him.
Yeah.
The scarred one.
Yeah.
So essentially, it will be up to you how you negotiate. If you want to just meet them all at the hall and go group to group, try and get them all together, negotiate to play them one against each other. Just to let you guys know, each of them has their own leader, their own agenda, their own behavior, goals, things like that. Some like each other more than others. You can decide how to handle it. It is not set up in a manner that by simply asking you get what you want. There's actually rules in the campaign, in the Dungeon Master's Guide for social interactions, and essentially how it works is pretty straightforward. They have a starting attitude, whether they're hostile, indifferent, or friendly towards you, and to what degree. And you can go through the process of making your arguments, asking questions, making insight rolls, and role playing, at which point you're building up to your request. When you make your request based on how the role playing was, your knowledge of them based on your insight checks and information they've shared, things like that, you can change their attitude from indifferent to friendly, or even indifferent to hostile, or vice versa, in any direction you want. And based off of what level, whether they're friendly level 1, 2, or 3, will set the difficulty class of your request. When you make your request, you will roll a persuasion check. based on how things have gone so far, asking somebody who is extremely friendly of you is going to have a much lower DC to get what you want than if somebody is indifferent, level 1, or even hostile. Now, mind you, there's also, as a general rule, you don't, as a DM, you don't allow rolls for things that aren't possible, although the memes don't show it. So if you have a negotiation and you offend someone and they're hostile to you, you really can't convince them to give you their house. So there's no real DC for that.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's based on the role playing. I will let you guys kind of think it over and decide if you want to talk to any of them in private, if you want to go meet them, or this is your show in terms of potential. You will, worst case scenario, if you just don't try or don't want to try, or you are an abysmal failure at diplomacy, you will leave Gonthelgrim with some backpacks full of food and go on about your business. If you are good at what you do and you negotiate and are effective, you will leave the halls of Gonthelgrim at the head of a small force numbering somewhere between 20 and 40 troops that will be under your command. I'd have to actually add up the numbers that maximum potential there is, but it's somewhere around 20, and they're not necessarily like level 1 guards. Some of them are, challenge ratings 3, 4, 5. So your average guard is going to be challenge rating, I think 1/2 or 1/4. Some of these are, experienced travelers, things like that you will be able to rely upon. So there is that. So that's where I'll let you guys kind of decide what to do. You can wait till next time to make your decision.
Okay.
But from there, that's I'm going to go super without Alex here, and because I don't want to start the role playing and then stop in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will leave this map up if you want to wander around. It is kind of neat, but it's a small little area. But with that, thanks for coming for the short game, guys.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for hosting.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Alex might do a little bit of flashback because he might have questions for Bruner because he seemed like a big. I know Alex is fanboy, but Smoke also seemed to know who he was. So
yeah,
absolutely. So we can he can shoot questions, or that is more than welcome.
Alrighty.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good night.
Oh, before we head off,
Oh.
I think we should probably go meet with all the factions. Okay, good night.
Oh.
Yeah, I also agree.
That's a good point.
luck.
Good night.
All right. Bye, guys.
Take care, y'all.
Night, man.